Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot of sugar honey iced tea to talk about today. Dan Bongino is back, and I know a lot of people give him crap, but it's good to have him back doing his podcast. A former bus driver pleads guilty to child abuse, and I cannot wait to show you, and I don't say wait to show you, it's terrible to show you what this fat lady then did to this kid on this bus. She should go to prison for the rest of her life. And before that, we're going to get into the aftermath of what happened in Minnesota. Y'all stay tuned. Welcome to the Officer Tatum Show.
If you don't believe that we are in a fight today, you're sleeping under a rock. If you get hit and you lay down and you cry and you fold up in the corner, definitely you will not win the fight. We show up to win. Our culture needs a lot of you young people in here to step up and stand out. There is nothing or no principality, power, division, devil can stop us when we're united. They can only get you when you're divided. When I see the American flag, I see us progressing to something that can be awesome and great. And if you don't plan on winning then, you might as well go on the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back for another live stream. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms, whether it's X, Instagram, you name it, I'm there. Just put in the Officer Tatum podcast. If you love listening to the audio, you love listening to your podcast when you're working out or doing whatever the case may be, make sure you follow the Officer Tatum Show on the podcast channel. Substack, I'm there as well. And follow me on Freedom Chat. All you got to do is go to the App Store, download the Freedom Chat app. It's the only, in my opinion, the only secured, and I would say my expert experience, it's the only secured end-to-end encrypted app that you could use. I use it for everything that I do, all my team, everything. We use Freedom Chat. And I'd say get off of that, what's that stuff called? I forget the name of some of those little platforms that they claim that's safe and secure. But get off of that stuff. The WhatsApps and all of that, get off of that stuff and go to Freedom Chat. At least you know it's a company that believes in your values. All right, let's get into the reason why I'm on this live stream today. Y'all all saw the shooting yesterday as some form of fashion. Now, I want to play this one clip because I want to put the baby to bed. We don't have time to be sitting up arguing about this. Let's play the clip, Joe, of the guy getting hit by the car. I just want to show this clip so we put the baby to sleep right away. If you've been watching social media and you got people telling you that they don't know what happened in this situation, they don't know if it's justified or not, and just look at the video. This is the best angle that I could find, and you tell me that he didn't get hit by this car. Roll the clip. Boom. Boom. Did he get hit one more time? Boom. He got hit by the car. That's why she got shot. And every time I play a politician or one of these weirdos trying to lie to the people about whether or not this was justified and that ICE was out here acting a fool, I'm going to play that clip just so y'all can compare and contrast the foolery of these ignorant people. But before we get there, let's show a bit of the aerial footage of the aftermath. I swear these people trying to make this a George Floyd 2.0. This would be a George Floyd 2.0 if the white lady was a black person. That should tell you, just think about this. That should tell you how silly and how much of a farce this is that if the woman was black, shot by an ICE agent, we'll have Benjamin Crump on TV. People be crying and spitting on each other, all kind of other stuff. But since she white, she only get this little crowd right here and a little bit of media coverage. She ain't finna get no trophy. She not gonna get not trophy, but she not get a statue. They're not gonna be violating COVID rules to give her 3 funerals with a gold casket with celebrities showing up. It ain't gonna happen. Why? Because she white. Now, let's get to some other protests that's right there on the ground, clip 101. These people so silly, and it ain't number white people out here. I said this yesterday. Ain't nothing but white, blue-head liberals out here. They should be at home with their kids, or they should be active members of society, maybe going to work. I don't know, maybe something productive, but yet they out here with their offbeat chants. And roll the clip.
We are Mrs. Good, and we will not have it no more.
They had to get a black man, just so y'all know.
Let's
Preacher with the preacher voice.
Standing up for injustice. Let's give a round of applause.
Then the white lady come through and mess it all up. Watch.
what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. All right, you guys say this is what community looks like, right? Got it? Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like.
Community looks like an idiot trying to run over an ICE agent, getting smoked, and everybody get out in the street and protest. But y'all not protesting a fraud in the same city. Billions of dollars of fake child care facilities, and y'all not mad at that? You know why they not mad? Because they ain't paying taxes. All these people out here don't even live in the city. Some of them busting in, don't have a job, don't pay taxes, not responsible for anything, stupid enough to get displaced, and they cheering about displacement. They should be going and patting these ICE agents on the back. Get these illegals out of our city so we can have the benefits of what we've sown into this community. We can reap the benefits of the taxes that we pay. Come on. Put Lukey and Dookie on the screen. Ren and Stimpy, Lukey and Dookie. Dumb and Dumber. What's his name? The mayor and his boyfriend. That's pretty much what I can see the soy just oozing off his hairline. And then the guy in the uniform need to take his uniform off and put civilian clothes on because he ain't serving nobody in the uniform. I already caught him yesterday lying about the woman getting ran over. Let's roll the clip, because get the clip ready, because every time these cowards get on here and lie about what happened in that shooting, I'm going to play the clip.
And Mr. Mayor, you know, after you told ICE to get the F out of the city, I've seen a lot of Republicans here in Washington criticizing those comments, saying that you're escalating tensions with that. Can you respond to them, and what do you say to them tonight, people who criticize those comments?
I'm so sorry if I offended their Disney princess ears, but here's the thing. If we're talking about what's inflammatory, on the one hand, you got someone who dropped an F-bomb, and on the other hand, you got someone who killed somebody else. F-bomb, killing somebody. I think the more inflammatory action is killing somebody. And so, once again, let's be real and just honest and straight up about what's happening here. This is not okay. The way they're coming into cities, not just Minneapolis, but around the country, is not okay. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, you should understand the importance of constitutional law enforcement. You should understand the importance of not discriminating based on race and randomly plucking people off the street because they're Somali or Latino. And especially from what we've seen, you should also understand the importance of de-escalating tense situations, not killing people and yanking out a gun. And so, again, I'm not going to preempt the investigation. It is important that we do that. And at the same time, you know, you want to make a big deal about an F-bomb, let's make a big deal about our Constitution. I think that's probably the better route.
Oh, I can sense the wussy in him coming out, and his little sidekick over there. Look like they be laying on top of each other at night, the way they acting.
Why are you gay?
Exactly. So, you know, my whole thing with this is, why can't people be honest about their affairs? It's not the ICE agents coming into the city and enforcing laws. It's the dummies who are protesting them. It's the dummies who are throwing glass at them and doing all this other stuff. It's those people that are the problem. It's not the ICE agents. They're randomly plucking people out of the road. They doing it random. They just random. They just going down the street full of white people looking for Mexicans and Somalians. Is that what you saying they doing? No, they don't have a warrant. No. The government not flying these people in. They're not going and having meetings and getting vehicles and putting tack gear on to execute warrants. They just riding around. One day they get up and say, you know what, let's roll down that street and see what we can find. As if they don't coordinate vehicles, tack gear, tactical extraction. They got a number of people they need to use. They are training to do these things, and they have active warrants and authority from the judge to execute these warrants in all of these states. But you lying to your people and saying they just randomly showing up somewhere. How they know where to go? They don't. You think these federal agents live there? Oh man, let's go down Crenshaw and 3rd. It's a whole bunch of Somalis down there. Let's just go randomly try to find these people. You know that's not what they doing. Okay, and I'm gonna say this. Put the dummy on the screen. The lieutenant governor, the next clip. Put her on the screen. We're gonna get to her in a second. But if y'all were to hold these people at the jail when you arrested them, then ICE would just go to the jail and they wouldn't be in the community. But y'all releasing these criminals into the community, now they got to go in the community to get them. And y'all know better. Roll the clip.
This is slightly outside of a thing that you have direct control over, but I'm going to ask you whether you think that state law enforcement should pursue investigation and possibly charges of the federal officer who fired 3 or 4 shots point blank and killed a woman.
I think, Minnesotans deserve transparency. They deserve an investigation, and they certainly deserve justice. And so, I fully expect that, the state will pursue that here. And I think they should. What we have all witnessed is horrific. And someone needs to be accountable for what we've seen, and for this woman, Renee Good, who lost her life at the hands of an ICE agent.
All right, play a clip. Roll the clip for this dummy. Let's see what she said. What we all witnessed. What do we witness? Roll it. Boom. 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 Okay. I think we can. Come on. Every time they say it, I'm going to show y'all the clip. Let's get to the next one. Roll it. And I'll say this. Let me give them the props. NBC, I think this is NBC, the only mainstream media outlet that actually reported this correctly. And after we finish with this clip, I'm going to go through a whole bunch of mind-dead leftists and what they have to say. Politicians and social media influencers alike. Because I just think we need, y'all need B. Tatum to just explain this. And after this clip, get your grandma and them in the room. Get your mama, your cousin in the room. Share this clip with Shanae down the street so I can tell them what it is. Because mainstream media ain't going to tell them. Let's play this news thing, and then we're going to get to these leftist nut jobs like Hakeem Jeffries. Who else we got on the chopping block? We got AOC, Joy Behar. You got The View, Ilhan Omar. Roll the clip.
A closer look at the videos we just saw of the shooting incident. And joining us now to highlight some key points investigators will be looking at is NBC's Tom Winter. He covers law enforcement for us. So, Tom, we're going to start the video here, and we're going to stop it pretty quickly because there's stuff we were learning from the get-go. Again, the police chief saying this vehicle was blocking the federal agents right there.
That's right, Tom. And a big caveat, we don't know what happened before this, but they're definitely going to look at the fact this is an unmarked vehicle, but the lights are on. These are clearly members of law enforcement. So that's at least known to this driver.
Let's play the video because something else happens right here. Those officers approach the vehicle. They try to open the door. Let's stop it here. How will this help the investigators?
Whatever is said here, what these officers say, if the driver said anything or not, could really help them understand whether or not they thought there was some sort of an imminent threat. Was this person trying to listen to them? Were they scared? Or is this going to be a problem?
And then, of course, what the driver does next. Let's play that video. Trying to leave there. One of the officers felt like they were forced to fire, and they do. We want to show another angle, reverse angle of the same incident here. We're going to freeze it. This is that same angle here. And what does this show us, Tom?
Well, this appears to show an officer right in front of the vehicle. That and between the way that the vehicle was moving and the timeline of that, how was the officer responding in that split second going to be critical for investigators.
Finally, one more piece of evidence we want to talk about here, and it is the bullet hole in the front of the windshield. What will this tell investigators?
Well, you look at this, you look at ballistics, you look at witness statements, you look at other video, all going to be part of this investigation. But, Tom, it's going to take some time.
Now, hold it right there. What does this tell you? That he was standing in front of the car when he made the first shot. And we all saw him get struck. What math are y'all mathing right now? It's unfortunate because this ignorant woman had kids. She should have been at home with her babies instead of listening to mind-dead people online tell you that ICE agents are raiding places with no authority. Y'all got her killed. Well, her being stupid and y'all together got her killed. She thought she was doing something, wasn't she? And she dead. Her kids ain't gonna have a mama no more. And all they doing at a memorial site is kumbayaing. ICE agents they still gonna be raiding. You didn't do nothing but die. Let's pull up her GoFundMe real quick because she got a GoFundMe. $824,000 for being stupid. Well, she's dead now, so she don't get to get none of that money. It goes to her wife and son. Well, first of all, that wife stuff don't count because it ain't no such thing as being married to a woman. Y'all in a relationship. And y'all, I tell you, it's all messed up anyway because her son being raised by two women, that's stupid. Because the other one got to be just as stupid as she is to be married, to think they married and then be married to each other. And then she on the side, I don't know if y'all heard that clip, she on the side crying, that's my wife, that's my wife. It's my fault. I told her to come down here. Y'all done left that boy at home somewhere to go be fake activists. And she done raised $824,000. And I'm going to say this to say at this part. Let me go to something real quick. Pull my screen up. She raised $800,000, right? $800,000 for being stupid and trying to run over an ICE agent. We got Nick Shirley, on the other hand, that's been exposing the lies, changing America. And we've only raised $130,000 for him. So what I'm telling y'all to do is, and it's been 2,800 people that have donated to this. I'm just going to give y'all opportunity to put your efforts where your priorities are at. There's nowhere in the world, in my opinion, that woman should have that much money being a dummy, and you got a guy that's a hero changing America, and he raised $130,000 for his security fund. If you watching this, go to Blackline Guardian Fund. We'll put the link in the description section and donate something to Nick Shirley. We should have more money for his protection than this nut job that tried to run over an ICE agent. Let's get back to the content. As I get into the stupidest people in our government talking about this issue, I want to play at least one of the Democrats that's reasonable. Let's go to Fetterman. And I know he dressed like a homeless man, like he on a bender, or that he at a frat party getting drunk out his mind. I know he dressed like that, but at least the things that come from whatever's left here out of his mouth is things that I agree with for the most part. Roll the clip.
I mean, it's devastating. I mean, it's absolute tragedy. My heart goes out to her family. I mean, I don't know the circumstances. I haven't seen the actual video, but a life is lost. I mean, it's a tragedy, and absolutely. And you know, my views. I support ICE about deporting criminals. I don't support and understand if you want to target otherwise hardworking people. I don't support that. I never have on that. I remain pro strongly immigration, and that's never going to change. So here we are now, where a woman's dead, and that's tragedy. And you know, we'll know, the circumstances. I'm not going to make any judgment other than just express my sympathy for the family. I mean, just what a tragedy.
So Fetterman is still slightly off a little bit because I don't care who they target. If you came here illegally, you know you're illegally here, then you got to go home. That's like me saying, I want to go to Harvard. And if I can find a way to sneak into a lecture hall and sit in there and take notes a couple times, I get access to Pell Grant, I get access to funding, and now I'm a part of Harvard. And I get to graduate, like all these people that worked their whole life to get into Harvard, their parents paying the money, they didn't save the money, and I'm in Harvard, senior year. I ain't in gen eds. I go to the senior classes. I'm only at Harvard for, I don't know, the second semester of my last year. I'm finna graduate with a degree like y'all, and I snuck in there. That's what people are getting in our country. We're the Harvard of the world. You don't get to jump. Y'all, hold on. I'll get to Hakeem Jeffries. Hold on a second. You don't get to say, I'm starving. I need opportunities. I just want to work to provide for my family. And you skip over Mexico to come into America. That's like saying, I'm hungry. I'm going to skip over McDonald's and go to Steak 44. It don't work like that. If you hungry, you're going to stop at the first place to eat. No, y'all want fine dining. You're not that hungry. You want the best. And we finna screw over everybody that fought to be here to give you the best when you should have waited in line like everybody else. Come on, get Hakeem on the thing. Get Timu Obama on the screen. And get that clip ready, because I know he's finna say something stupid. Roll the clip.
There's no evidence that has been presented to justify the shooting of an unarmed woman resulting in her unnecessary death. Kristi Noem, the so-called Secretary of Homeland Security, is a stone-cold liar who has zero credibility on this issue or on any other issue. And what we need, as I believe the governor has indicated, is a full and complete investigation. This rogue ICE agent who pulled the trigger should be criminally investigated to the full extent of the law, including for demonstrating a depraved indifference to human life.
Roll the clip. Put the clip on there. Come on, Hakeem. Somebody sue this man. What? There's no evidence. Depraved mind. Kristi Noem was wrong. Roll the clip again. Roll it again. No evidence. Depraved mind. Criminally investigated. All right, get to the next one. Get to the next nut job. AOC. Pull that hamburger heifer on the screen. Roll it.
What are the implications of that?
Well, first of all, what happened and what we saw today was a horrific act of violence. And
which one's running over the agent or what?
You know, my heart goes out to the victim's family of this. You know, I
suspect.
think what we have now seen and what we are seeing is that ICE is not just becoming an anti-immigrant force in this country, it is becoming an anti-civilian paramilitary organization. People are getting taken off of the streets for exercising their free speech rights. The president himself has asserted that, in fact, one of the reasons that this murder may have been quote unquote justified is on free speech grounds. So this is now turned into what our greatest fear is and has been for a long time around ICE, that this will be used as an anti-civilian force, that it has no accountability. At the end of the day, what we saw today is a murder. And murders in cold blood need to be prosecuted.
And play the clip for her. She ain't getting it. Murder in cold blood. Okay. That look like she hit him. She hit him with the car. Come on, next one. Come on. Get Mayor Johnson's sorry, ashy elbows onto the show. Mayor Johnson is the fakest, most fraud. They just get these Negroes that know how to talk good and faker than three left shoes on an eight-legged man at a swap meet. You know he ain't about that. That man ain't supported. Chicago ain't.
Good evening, Chicago. I would like to take a moment to address the tragic loss of life today in Minneapolis.
Minneapolis.
The video that many of us have seen of ICE officers fatally shooting a woman at point-blank range is deeply disturbing and, unfortunately, all too similar to incidents that have transpired here in Chicago.
Time out. What incidents, Brandon? You talking about black on black violence? Because I don't see your black behind on here saying nothing when a brother laying dead in the street. What are you talking about? Yeah, you're in the murder capital of the country. And I ain't seen a press conference yet. When the kid's getting shot in the head at a birthday party. Brandon Johnson, where you at? What's your legislative, what are you going to pursue legislatively to change that? But Brandon Johnson ain't talking about the billions of dollars that they wasting on illegals instead of helping the black community, are you? They don't hurt your feelings, do it? It don't keep you up at night. It keep you up at night when a white lady get killed trying to run over an ICE agent. You gonna sit down and fix your mouth to now have something to say when you don't say nothing when black people are suffering in your city. And you supposed to be a black man that's supporting your people. You sorry dog. You a sorry son of a gun. I wish I could cuss, but I'm trying to be a Christian. Lord, can I have one? Let me get one cuss. Give me 30 seconds of cussing. You sorry son of a gun. You should be ashamed of yourself. I can't stand these ignorant Negroes. They picked it. They know how to pick them. They put them in there, tell them what to say, and black people just follow along. How y'all vote for this man? He ain't done nothing for y'all, but he can do a press conference for Minnesota. When ain't a black person is involved. Ain't no black people getting arrested by ICE, ain't no black people protesting, and ain't no black people getting shot. But this Negro got to put his voice in it. Let him finish.
No community deserves to be subjected to the terror that's stemming from this president's use of ICE as his personal militarized force. At the start of their operation in Chicago, an ICE agent killed a father, Saverio Villegas Gonzalez, under very similar conditions.
Similar.
In his car, right after dropping his children off at school.
All right, play the clip for this fool. Play it for him. Is similar situation to this? I just want to play it just in case Brandon Johnson didn't see it. All right, go to the next fool. Who else we got? Jimmy Kimmel.
I know what they're doing. On there. They're trying out a new slogan. Donald J. Trump is going to kill you. It's pretty good, right? This maniac, he isn't just killing people overseas. An ICE agent today shot and killed an unarmed 37-year-old woman during an ICE operation in Minneapolis. They're there under the guise of protecting us. And, of course, our president weighed in with compassion. He wrote, "I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. And the woman driving the car, this is the woman who was killed, was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense." Now, I saw this video. It didn't look like anybody got run over to me. It looked to me like a woman.
Play it for Jimmy. Roll it. Nobody got ran over to you. Put him back on the screen. Let him finish the lawsuit that's going to ensue. Roll it.
Professional agitator. And the woman driving the car, this is the woman who was killed, was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Now, I saw this video. It didn't look like anybody got run over to me. It looked to me like a woman got scared and tried to drive away, and they shot her. That'll be for the court to decide. The mayor of Minneapolis, though, had this to say.
They are already trying
we
to
already
spin
heard this
as
soy
an action
boy.
of self-defense.
Let's go to the next clip. Who next? Some lib gets guns and listen to this fool. I haven't even watched this yet. I just know when I see a man with a nose ring that somebody laying on the back of him at night. That's all I know. He drinking soy milk and another man on his back. Roll the clip.
We, the people, need to start taking back this country and immediately.
I knew he was a wussy.
Have corrupt.
Come on, pause it. How did I predict this? Bro, you got a leather jacket on. Can you put a little thump, your little bass in that voice? Get a little raspy with it. Boy, I thought he was going to get on there and talk like a man. He don't talk like he on estrogen. He talk like he a transgender. Are you transitioning from a woman to a man? Maybe it is.
I just want to get on here and talk about the First Amendment.
Come on, man. Somebody get him some tea, bro. Get that man some HGH or something. What do they call it? HGH. Somebody give him some peptides. Because he about as... Stop, Brandon. The Lord is watching you. Roll the clip.
Fake-ass people in these placements like ICE that are allowed to be masked, covered, not identified, do whatever the they want, and murder people without knowing who they're killing, just killing civilians. And Trump's okay with this and is allowing this to happen, and it's now happening all over in the Midwest. This is not okay. What the America and Americans? How stupid are we to keep allowing this to happen? I say it's time for everybody to start getting guns and start coming out of their houses and start shooting these fucking ICE agents in the head when they start trying to take over people.
Come on, can we send this video to the authorities? You just said on camera, you got your face out there. You just are you misstating? You just said that we need to get guns and start shooting federal agents. He just complained and said that federal agents are shooting people indiscriminately. And you think people should get guns. You're telling people. Like, come on, I want to see him in jail. Y'all get him in jail. Make him go to where the men at. Don't let him switch sides on us. Let him go with the men so Big Tony can get him. Big Tony gonna have fun with you. You ain't got no chance. No chance in jail. None. You can't make a lunch line. You ain't making lunch. You ain't gonna be able to eat. Tony gonna take your food and everything. Take your food and your butt. All right, go to the next person.
I watched the video, y'all. I watched.
Oh, another tranny. Stop the fin. You know they transit. Go back. Stop it. You come on. Y'all can at least try to transition. She looked like she plays center for the Kansas City Chiefs. And she driving a truck. CDL license tranny. All right, I'm not trying to make fun of Trey. I love everybody, but you gonna make me make fun of you when you on here being stupid. Let Beast Mode finish what she's saying. Roll it.
That's the f***ing video. The news is gonna say she tried to ram them. She most certainly did not. They ran at her car, holding onto their guns, and then they shot her when she tried to drive away. She wasn't trying to ram anyone. She was trying to get away from a dangerous situation, and now she's dead. If you are okay with the fact that they're gunning people down in the streets, in the suburbs of Minneapolis, then you're not a freedom fighter. You're a Nazi. Leave my country. Leave my state.
Hey, somebody get his doctor, because I think his balance is off. You know, you ain't supposed to get that much, the estrogen levels so they can be transitioning got to be a certain level. That somebody didn't put too much in there, because now he getting roid rage with a wig on. Do we need to show the video to him? No. I think y'all seen it already. Let's go to the View.
Are we in the middle of fascist America? Because in this,
yesterday.
Just this last week, I'm just going to give you a summary of what we've been through. 1 week, Pete Hegseth started an illegal war for oil in Venezuela.
Right.
Stephen Miller threatened a military takeover of Greenland. Mm-hmm. RFK Jr. slashed childhood vaccine recommendations, and ICE shot and killed a United States citizen in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
That sort of adds up to me like a dictatorship in the making.
It adds up like you stupid.
That we are now in it.
All right, let's let it. No, it adds up that you're stupid. It don't add up. None of that even happened. They should call this show Hot Flashes. Don't call it The View, call it Hot Flash. Because these women got to be at some point in their life where they going crazy. They starting to lose it. The balance is off. What are you talking about? Pete Hegseth, you saying that he started a war. Pete Hegseth is not the commander-in-chief. Donald Trump gives the commands to do whatever we did in Venezuela. What are you talking about? RFK changed the childhood vaccine recommendations. They're recommendations, you idiot. Nobody said you give your kid as many vaccines as you want to give them. That's why they walking around mind dead. All them drugs in them. That's why your kid 3 and can't even do. My kid running laps around your kid because y'all didn't pump them drugs in him and now he docile. Kid drooling in. Like your kid 3, what's wrong with your kid? He don't know how to talk. He don't know how to hold a conversation. And my son running around your son in circle because we didn't pump them drugs in him. And y'all vaccinating the crap out of your kids. And don't know when you were little. Go back to hot flashes. Back when hot flashes was little, they didn't have nearly the vaccines they got now. Now they pump them 30, 40 vaccines in your kid. Come on. And y'all mad at RFK. All right. Let's go. Who else is on the chopping block today? We got hot flash. Let's go to Ilhan Omar. Miss Allah Akbar herself.
It is not helpful for us to have ICE agents unlawfully just carrying out these ridiculous raids that are not resulting in any sort of arrests, that have no explanation of why they are there. They are disturbing peaceful communities that are just trying to live out their lives. And I join our mayor and our senator in asking them to get the heck out of our city.
Play the clip for that fool because she ain't get it. Come on, show the clip to Ilhan Omar. Allah Akbar. All right. I think she got a chance to watch it now. Maybe she'll change. She say, now, Mom Donnie. Mom Donnie. Bring him on the screen. Play the clip.
First, just want to make clear that the news coming out of Minneapolis is horrific. This is one part of what has been a year full of cruelty. And we know that when ICE agents attack immigrants, they attack every single one of us across this country. And this is a city and will always be a city that stands up for immigrants across the 5 boroughs.
No. Why do I got to be the, like, not immigrants, we're talking about illegal immigrants. What are you talking about? Why y'all got to conflate, though? If y'all were being genuine about your affairs, you would legitimately say illegal immigrants versus legal immigrants. Everybody that's coming over here is not a legal immigrant. A lot of these people are killers. Why y'all not talking about the killers? Why y'all not talking about people stabbing and killing people in your own city? Roll it. Let them finish.
And I have made
Matter of fact, I don't want to hear none of this you got to say. Let's go to some sane folks. Scott Jennings and Stephen A. Smith. I'm going to give y'all a break from insanity. We're going to go to some common sense folk. Let's go to Scott Jennings. We got 2 Scott Jennings clips. We got a Stephen A. Smith clip. And then we're going to get to Dan Bongino because Dan Bongino is back. And I know some of y'all mad at him and you hate him. But I honestly think Dan Bongino is a genuine guy. And I feel like Dan Bongino was genuine the whole time. And if you ain't never worked for the FBI, then you may need to listen to what the man say. Because all of y'all loved him. And then as soon as he do something you don't like and you don't understand, you turn on him. All right, we'll get to Dan Bongino in a second. Let's get to Scott Jennings. I want to hear what he had to say. Roll it.
Because you heard the Secretary of Homeland Security call it domestic terrorism there. Andrew McCarthy, a conservative lawyer who writes for the National Review, wrote of that, quote, "That is the kind of hyperbole we don't need from an agency that exists because of terrorism. It was established due to the 9/11 atrocities and should presumably know what it is and is not. Whether we conclude it's an attempted murder or an attempted escape, it is not a terrorist act."
Yes, it is.
Scott, I should know, McCarthy also wrote that he thinks that what happened was probably within the scope of the law. but he didn't like what Kristi Noem went out and said there. Did she need to say that?
Probably not. But that doesn't mean she shouldn't go out and defend the ICE agent. It doesn't mean that I wouldn't expect DHS to defend their agents who are routinely under attack around the country. We've seen hundreds of car incidents and ICE operations around the country. The correct question to be asking, I think, today is, why was this incident occurring in the first place? Why is there a convoy of vehicles, according to several witnesses, attempting to impede a perfectly legitimate federal law enforcement situation? So I think arguing about the rhetoric, perfectly fine. To me, I want to get to the root cause of why there is a group of people in this country who believe it is their responsibility to drive convoys of vehicles into perfectly legitimate federal law enforcement situations. I think some of this goes back to, frankly, John, Democratic rhetoric, because that's what they've been instructed to do by the Democrats who are demonizing these ICE agents.
By definition, this is domestic terrorism. When you use acts of violence or intimidation to push a political agenda, that is terrorism. When you're domestically in the United States of America, you are a domestic terrorist. So when a person is trying to obscure or detract lawful action by ICE agents by using threats, intimidation, and blockades of vehicles, and attempted to run one of them over, you can say she turned the wheel at the last minute. It don't matter. She still made a furtive effort and she hit him with the car. That's an act of domestic terrorism. Nobody got hurt at January 6th, but they call all them terrorists. They said it was domestic terrorism in a insurrection when people just walking around the Capitol taking selfies. But this is not an act of violence. All right, roll the clip.
And I think there's some details we don't know yet, and we'll have to learn more about it. What strikes me is, first of all, it's extremely sad and unfortunate that someone died. I mean, the political fighting and disagreements aside, it's terrible. You don't want people to die in law enforcement situations or otherwise. But it strikes me that we are undergoing an epidemic of political vigilantism right now. Why are people showing up in vehicles, in convoys, not just in Minneapolis, but all over the country in an effort to obstruct lawful federal law enforcement activities? This is not an isolated incident. We have had hundreds of car rammings against ICE agents all over the country. According to DHS, this lady in this car today, along with other vehicles, had been tracking ICE agents around. Why are people believing that they can drive their car into a federal law enforcement situation and that is an appropriate thing to do? I understand they don't like the fact that these agents are enforcing existing immigration law, but that's not how we change laws in this country. If you don't like a law, you talk to the politicians. You don't drive your car into the middle of a building or a law enforcement situation that's being occupied by the people who are simply there to enforce the law. If I don't like how much the IRS is charging me in taxes, I don't drive my car into the Treasury Department and try to run somebody over. I call my congressman. Political vigilantism is being encouraged by Democratic officials like the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, Peggy Flanagan, who earlier this year told people to, quote, put your bodies on the line, and Tim Walz calling these guys Gestapo all year. What do you think happens when you radicalize a base of people about this? It does strike me.
Mic drop. Mic drop. I don't get to say I don't like how much taxes I'm getting paid and drive my car into the Treasury. Like he said, you don't get to do that because you don't like what they're doing. I don't like Katie Hobbs. She a trashy government. I want to say the other word, but it was a cuss word. I know it's somebody's family is watching this. I can't stand Katie Hobbs with her sorry self. Look like she disheveled every time she get on TV. A hot mess. Terrible governor. I'm not going to do nothing to her. I'm just going to vote her out. What are we saying here? Stephen A., come on the show. Let's hear what Stephen A. had to say, and then we're going to cover Dan Bongino. I think we're going to get up out of here. Stephen A. wrote a clip.
I saw the video on numerous occasions. And seeing what transpired, from a lawful perspective, as it pertains to a law enforcement official, don't expect him to be prosecuted. He was completely justified. From a humanitarian perspective, however, why did you have to do that? If you could move out the way, that means you could have shot the tires. That means you could have got her a few feet away after you shot the tires. And if you were unsuccessful in doing that, you could have got her down the road. You didn't have to do that. She wasn't driving down the road coming at you 90 miles an hour. She was parked in the middle of the street. And rather than get out the car, she wrongfully tried to drive off and wrongfully disregarded law enforcement official, which is exactly what ICE is. And as a result, lost her life because of it. I'm here to tell you that at some point in time, you got to ask yourself, what damn country do you want to live in? At some point in time, we're going to have to ask ourselves that question. And I think the time is sooner than later. Because again, from a legal perspective, don't expect this ICE officer to be prosecuted. I'm telling you right now. She was in the car, Renee Nicole Good, 37 years of age, protesting, blocking off the streets. ICE wanted her to move. An officer got in front of the car. Another officer got to the side of the car, and then she tried to take off. And in their eyes, the Kristi Noems of the world for the Department of Homeland Security, and other folks on the right are saying, oh, they consider it an act of domestic terrorism because she tried to run over an ICE officer. It's not going to be prosecuted. My point is, let's not focus on that for a second, okay? She was wrong to drive off. She should not have done that. Should have got out of her car to prove that she was not going to be any harm, or she should have asked the officer, I'm pulling over, could you move out the way, please? Instead of trying to disregard him totally to the point where you're going to take off and potentially hit him, and he moves out the way and draws his gun and shoots through the front windshield.
Hold on.
And took her out.
Stephen A., I love Stephen A. He's right about 90% of it. I think he didn't watch the video. I don't want to play. Do we have that other one? That number 2 angle? We don't have it in the system. Y'all didn't seen it already. I mean, he was in front of the car. And people can argue, should he been in front of the car or not? It don't matter. He could be in front of the car if he wants to. You shouldn't be driving off anyway. They told you to stop. It's a lawful order. But he clearly shot her when he was in front of the car. And she hit him. And yeah, when you look at the tires begin to turn this way, but man, when you're in the middle of this, you can't tell if she gonna turn them tires this way or that way. You can't, you tell her to stop. What is she willing to do? How far is she willing to go? And when the tires started peeling out, and I guess the officer that ended up shooting her got drugged by a person in a vehicle not too long ago. Let's get to Dan Bongino so y'all can have a happy Friday tomorrow. Let's get with Dan Bongino. Dan Bongino is officially coming back. He's going to have his show. He's no longer working with the FBI. I have my opinions about Dan Bongino. I like Dan Bongino. I don't think he did anything wrong. The man went down there and realized that he got tricked, and all these other conservatives been tricking us about what was real and what was not real, to be honest. And I know people don't want to hear that. Y'all were having a good time until I got on this topic. But I think that he went down there and said, oh, wait a minute. This is not as juicy as I thought it was. And a lot of times, it's not as juicy as you think it was. People are still thinking there's some crazy smoking gun with the Epstein thing, and I just think it's not. I think what happened is conservatives blew it out of proportion way back when. And it's underwhelming what we're expecting to see. But comment in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about Dan Bongino's approach back. Do you think he a fraud? Do you think he a real one? I don't know. I know what I think, but I want to hear from you. Let's roll the clip of some of the things he said on the Young Lady podcast of his first appearance. Roll the clip.
So the show is definitely coming back.
When?
Early February. We will release the date. Yes, thank you guys in the chat. We will put out a press release with Westwood One and Rumble this coming Monday. So just a few days from now, which will provide the date. It's going to be early February, and we're going to be ready to roll. That first show, usually we would put together the show night before, morning of. You know, it's like at Fox. As that first show, I got a lot of stuff. It's on my phone, folks.
Weeks ahead of time.
I took so many notes. I mean, obviously, I can't talk about classified stuff, or, you know, that kind of thing. But there's a lot of stuff we can talk about and provide context and color and, you know, crush a lot of the black pill bullshit out there. You know, nothing's happening, all of a sudden. So, yeah, exactly. I went there to jerk around for a year. Like, it's so luxurious in Washington, D.C. So there's a lot of stuff to talk about that I think is going to open a lot of eyes, and a lot of ignoramuses are going to get shut down.
And he goes on to talk about the black pill situation. If you don't know what the black pill is, you got the red pill. It means you come to the realization that you're probably a conservative and all things conservative, right? And then you got the black pill, meaning that you hate everything. Everybody's against you. You don't like Republicans. You don't like Democrats. You pretty much an incel, in my opinion. All right, roll the clip.
When I come back, if it's going to be, you know, endless complaining, then just don't watch. The show's, it's okay. Like, this is a constitutional republic. You're not obligated to listen to my show. The thing about black pill is where everything sucks all the time. It's like, well, we're demanding accountability. Great, so am I. You're endlessly complaining about things you don't know anything about. That's all you do. Like, he'll shut down the border, 10 people across the month. Why wasn't it 0? Okay, well, can you just acknowledge going from 1 million to 10 is a big deal? There's a cost to that. You can't let this negative vibe constantly set in. That doesn't mean healthy debates about policy are not welcome. Debating policies are fine, but the black pill complaining and whining all the time about the administration of it, it's just like, man, what team are you on? You don't have to watch. It's okay. There's a door. You know, go find the freaking exits. I don't really give a shit. I'm not here for anybody's money or anything like that. I'm too old for that shit.
All right, next clip.
I really found that there were 2 FBIs. There's the guys out there with the door kickers going out there getting bank robbers, working white collar, working violent crimes, working counterterror, working counter-espionage. And then there was the politically weaponized group, and they had to go. You know, like, okay, well, that's easy. Well, the problem is who's in what group? They don't come out and tell you. No one comes out and advertises. It's like, hey, I was part of this. Cash and I did investigate, say a problem, find the perpetrators involved, and take action. And it sounds like a simple battle plan, but it's not as easy as we thought.
Do you feel comfortable stepping away and knowing that it's good?
Well, I wouldn't say anything's ever good and that human beings are incorruptible. They are. There has to be mechanisms in government. Am I comfortable that Cash and I did everything we could in the past year to create institutional safeguards against things happening again anytime soon? Yes. You know, the problem is you can get new leadership in there later that can obviously change it.
I don't know if you can answer this question, but how many people did you fire?
There were a lot of personnel changes. I'll leave it at that. A lot. Significant personnel. And the leadership is, I'm reasonably confident, is completely different at this point than it was. I'm not sure there's that many folks left from before.
All right, last clip.
I never got to mourn Charlie publicly like everyone else. And I'm obviously going to have a lot to say during my first show, which we'll talk about in a second. But, you know, rest in peace, brother. That was, he was not only a friend, but a good friend. I think everybody had a little piece of Charlie in their lives in the movement, you know, and Charlie made everyone feel special. So I miss you, brother. And may God rest your soul. So that I know I'm going to talk about it on my first show, but, you know, that's really important. And I never got to say that publicly, and I really desperately wanted to. I was devastated, as many people were, by that horror. I don't even know how to describe it. No one wants to even relive it.
Yeah.
All right. I want to hear your comments. What do you think about Dan Bongino's return back to the podcasting world? Let's I think that's good enough for today. We got a couple that we were going to talk about. We will roll over to tomorrow. I just want to keep this right around an hour. Ain't nobody want to watch a 3-hour show. All right? I'd never watch a 3-hour show. I'd rather watch a whole bunch of people's 1-hour shows. All right. So make sure you go to the podcast network, all the social media platforms. If you want to see me on there, it's The Officer Tatum, The Officer Tatum on Substack. Shout out to Blackline Security Operations, my security company that is blowing up. I mean, I think we're the fastest growing security company in the country, and we're just going to keep growing from there. Why? Because we really care about what we're doing. It's not about money. It's not about none of that stuff. It's just about protecting people the right way and getting the best opportunity for you to be safe and having the best guys to do it. It's simply what it is. I don't care about the money aspect of it. You know, obviously security is a big industry. It costs a lot for security. You know how I know? Because I got security, and it's a lot of money. But at the end of the day, it's about doing the right thing by people. And when you do the right thing, your company gets blessed. That's just the way I feel. Freedom Chat. Make sure you get on the Freedom Chat. I post on there daily. Also, if you want to do end-to-end encrypted conversations with family, friends, you know, everything that I do is on Freedom Chat. I don't do things that I want to be encrypted on any other platform. I don't trust any other platform. I know the CEO. I'm invested in this company, so I have a vested interest to make sure this company is doing right, put my name behind it. So it is safe. We do operations. Everything we do it through a safe avenue on Freedom Chat. So, and Freedom Chat donated to support Nick Shirley Security. So I want to give them a shout out for supporting Nick Shirley Security. Also, when you go to Tatum Store, you get your cool merch. All you got to do is put in ICE 26. You'll get 26% off ICE 26 for the year 2026. You'll get 26% off. Links will be in the description section. God bless you. God bless America. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Friday.
Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.